Well, hey, Beth, it's Jamie. That's me here. And welcome back to my channel and welcome back to yet another episode of This is Messy. Okay, for those of you guys that are just now joining my channel, okay, subscribing to the channel and you're not familiar with the This is Messy segments, we typically read different types of post threads, whether they're coming from Reddit or if they're a text thread. Okay, we typically talk about those things. Okay, sometimes they're messy, sometimes not so much, but this time I did come across a post that has been circulating social media. I have not read it in its entirety, I'll be honest. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read it with you guys, and we're going to share our thoughts and everything about it down below in the comments. Okay, I don't think this video is going to be that long. Okay, you guys can see from the timestamps, I'm sure, but let's go ahead and get right on into it. All right, so this young guy, it looks like he made this post over on Facebook or whatnot, and this is what it says. I asked this woman I've been talking to for a minute for $100. I get a, what do you need it for? So I guess when he asked her for 100, she responded like, okay, what you need $100 for? Okay. And then she also hit him with, when do I get it back? Oh, he also says it was a whole bunch of questions. Now, sir, was it just two questions? Or was it a whole bunch of questions? Because you just listed two. Okay. Is one too many, which makes it a bunch? All right. So then he says, I planned a trip for us in the mountains in Colorado for 4 days. Hotel costs per night were $200. Whitewater rafting, $150 per person. So I guess he wants to list out the amount of money that he ended up spending on the girl. So far we're at what? $350. Let's keep going. Zip lining is $125 per person. So what's that? What I said, 350. So now we're at what, 475? So, oh no, I'm sorry, girl. What's that? 350 plus 250 is about what, $600 looks like. So he's adding up the cost and things that he spent. Okay, he says hot air balloon, another 250 per person. So that's 500 plus the 650 is giving us what, 1150? Am I right? Okay, y'all correct me down in the comments if I'm adding this up inaccurately. Okay, SUV rental is $80 per day. Not sure how many days he has. Not to mention food cost. Okay, I had all of this covered. I just canceled everything and got my deposits back. Sir, please tell me that you did not do this all because of $100. That makes no sense to me. Okay, if that is what you did, sir, that makes no sense to me. You was willing to spend all this money, and it just seems like that's not something you were really doing from the heart initially. And you're asking, you needed a reason to cancel, is what it sounds like to me. You needed a reason to cancel. So as soon as she told you, oh, I'm gonna need my $100 back, you decided to do this. Some part of me makes me think that he already knew she probably did have it like that, which is why he decided to overextend himself anyway on paying all this money for a trip and a getaway for her, right? But let's keep going. He says, just canceled everything and got my deposits back. I didn't need the $100. I was just seeing what type of response I'd get if I asked for it. I hope she never allows you back into her life ever, ever, ever again, sir. Okay, because if you wanted to do something, and that, for me, that just lets me know that the trip you was trying to plan for her and for y'all, quote unquote, for y'all, was never for her. It was only for me, about you and whatever benefit. And I feel like the benefit you would have got was if you would have had the opportunity to smash. The benefit you would have got was to be able to use that at a later time by saying, oh, you know, I bought this, I bought that, I paid for this, I paid for that, and I don't want that type of NIGGA. Okay, if you're gonna do something and you did it from your heart, then do it from your heart and let it be what it is, because that's something you chose to do. Okay, don't be doing things for me and then later on using it as ammunition to go against me. Now I can see if I started being discredited you as being a terrible person or something like that. You like, how was I a terrible person when I paid X, Y, and Z? I did this for you, whatever, like they did, maybe. But at the same time, I mean, if you wanted to do that for her initially, your initial thought process, I suppose, was to have a weekend getaway or whatever that was, and then all of a sudden, because you couldn't get $100, it's a problem. Why not just tell her what you needed it for? Maybe it could have went towards the food since you done paid all this money for everything else. Like, oh, I just need $100, you know what I'm saying, for our trip. I'm taking you on a trip. Like, that would have been a great way to be like, surprise her, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And he had the audacity to me to put this stuff on social media, like everybody was just going to be in favor of him. And I'm sure some knuckleheaded men that sit out here and follow Kevin Samuels, and they just going along with like, yeah, bro, she missed up her chance, cause she effed it up. All she had to do, you know, women always want you to go all out the way for them, but when it's your turn, you know, they turn for them to give you some. They don't want to do. No, boo. I don't think she wanted him to go all the way out for her. If that is the case, in some of the comments that y'all may be saying, I think she would not have minded. But keep in mind, all this planning he did sounded like something that he wanted to do. He wanted to do these things. And then when she started asking questions, and then here's the other thing. Let's go back to the top before I finish this at the bottom. It says, I asked this woman I've been talking to for a minute for $100. I get what do you need it for? When do I get it back? A whole bunch of questions, LOL. So this is when he goes into the breakdown of how much he spent on the trip. But here's the thing. She never said she wanted to give you the $100. So why did you cancel it? So it sounds like you canceled it just off of the fact that she asked you a lot of questions to follow. And that just makes me, I don't know. I don't feel away. I mean, I feel away. I don't like that. I don't like that. Girl, I don't like that kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I dated somebody that did all of this, and I didn't have to offer up a coin. Do you hear me? And never threw it in my face or anything. So I don't, I'm glad you put your face in your name out there. People need to be warned. Okay, about you. Now, I mean, maybe I could feel if he felt the way later on. Like, let's say he spent over maybe $1,200 on this trip or whatever like that, and then he's in a tight bond, and it's like, oh, yo, you got $100 I can get, you know? And she's like, what you need it for? Oh, I just need it for XYZ. You know, even though that probably, I mean, maybe that's a question, maybe it's not a question. After he done spent all this money, I can see what I'm saying is if y'all been kicking it dating for a minute, he done spent $1,200. And then after the fact, he got in a bind to where he needed 100. It should be okay, because he's already shown you what he's willing to do for you without throwing it up in your face or asking you for anything. So then I feel like this argument may have been relevant if you didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? Not the cancellation part, because that would have already happened with the scenario that I'm using. But I'm like, I mean, I could see you feeling away or whatever if you did all this for her and y'all actually went on a trip and stuff and you showed her an amazing time, great time, and then you turn around and ask her for some money and she tripping. You know, I can see that. But right now, yeah, I'm not seeing that. And I also don't see that she said she wasn't going to give it to you. She didn't say that. You know, and hell, you took on this trip, she probably would have been like, keep that, honey. I don't need this. You know what I'm saying? You pay for all this, you did all this for me or whatever. Yeah, I hate that. And I hate that you've been talking to her for a minute for you to get to this place and then use anything as an excuse for you to try and back out of it. Like, I mean, I don't know. Some things aren't adding up. What else did he say towards the end? He says, I didn't need the $100. I was just seeing what type of response I'd get if I asked for it. See, that's why I'm glad you saved her time, because you was trying to play games any different way. And at this point, I really don't even believe that you paid for this. And if you did, you probably took somebody else. But anyway, somebody he canceled each. I guess let's keep going. And then it don't sound right, because I feel like some of that zip line and stuff, that white water rafting, I feel like that's probably stuff you can't cancel. Hot air balloon, maybe you can. I've never been on it. All of the things, those are all of the things I would never want to do anyway. But some part of me thinks that you probably can't even cancel this stuff. But anyway, he says, I didn't need the $100. I already read that part. Okay. I was just trying to see what type of response he was going to get if he asked for it. He says, I didn't ask, when do I get my money back when I was planning the vacation? How the fuck you going to ask when you get your money back when you planning the vacation for a woman that don't even know nothing about the vacation? She don't know nothing about it. That's what it sounds like. I did a whole lot. I planned a trip for us in the mountains and this and that and da-da-da, not to mention food costs. Or was this after the fact? Because see, that's the other thing that's not clear. Okay, he says, I didn't ask, when do I get my money back when I was planning the vacation? I was just handling business. People don't think long term. But did she know that this is what you were doing? Did she know that? Now, I do feel like if she did know that, he was planning all this, spending all his money out or whatever, I do kind of feel like, girl, you could have been like, I ain't got 100, but I got 50. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like you could have gave that man a little coin if you knew about this, that you knew that he was planning this trip and he spent all that money and stuff like that. I do feel like You could have just went along like, okay, I'll let this honey go. You know what I'm saying? But then again, maybe he need to know the woman he dealing with. Maybe she ain't having like that. Maybe she ain't got no coin like that to be giving up a honey. You know what I'm saying? But how I started reading this, I was reading it as though like this was your idea. This sounded like it was gonna be a surprise trip or whatever. But if she knew, I mean, I do kind of feel like if she did know, girl, that's a little messed up. Why he taught some tests failed? So I really didn't need the $100. I just wanted to see what kind of response I was gonna get. Ooh, child. Well, then maybe he was within his right to feel away. I don't know. Because I need to know the before and after. When was the trip booked? Okay. And did y'all go in comparison to you asking her for the $100? Ooh, girl, listen, they ain't got no more. I ain't got too much of anything else. Okay. This is just really interesting because I feel like there are still questions that need answers. But I want you guys to go ahead. Go and get in these comments and let me know how you interpret this message to be and what your overall thoughts are. Do you feel like he was trifling for that? Or do you feel like she was trifling for not giving up the $100 after this man has sat up here and spent all this money on this trip for you? But it still don't matter to me when I think about it because it's like, baby, the trip got canceled. So y'all, and now that I think about it, I'm over here talking about, well, did y'all go? No, they didn't go. The trip got canceled. They didn't get to go on anything. Okay. So back to the original point, I suppose. He was wrong for that. And then you trying to run a game and you trying to test her. I just feel like he wasn't doing any of these things out of the kindness of his heart. That's just what I think. I feel like he played himself ultimately, especially by putting it up on social media, thinking people are going to go along with him. I do feel like the only people that's going to go along with him are the Kevin Samuels supporters. But hey, I'm open to hearing you guys' thoughts and comments down below about this matter. Let me know your thoughts. That's all that I have on the latest episode of This Is Messy. I'm Jamie. That's me, honey. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment. Also, do not forget to subscribe if you have yet to do so. Feel free to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie. That's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.